A warm welcome to FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 qualifiers. We're in Asia for Group B between the Philippines and Japan. Live from the Mall of Asia Arena, all 15,000 seats likely to be taken in Manila. And they're the visitors, one or two in good humour, particularly because it seems Naoto Tsuichi needed a new vest before we've even begun proceedings tonight. And it's all down to whether Japan can stop the Philippines taking full control of their own destiny in terms of qualification for the second round. Japan with 3 defeats out of 3. The latest coming horribly for them at the hands of Chinese Taipei in Yokohama on Friday. Defeat over Chinese Taipei earlier today at Australia, who've already booked their place in the second round thanks to an 88-68 win in Melbourne, which leaves the standings like this. Japan still just about hanging in there. Victory in Manila would certainly keep them in the running. Remember, the first 3 from Group B proceed to the second round of qualification, but there are their opponents. The Philippines in good order and with plenty of support for the likes of Gabe Norwood there. And they're there in good colour as well. Basketball, of course, still very much the national sport of the Philippines and their heroes. There they are, the Gilas Filipinas are ready to take to court once more. Andre Blatch, the 6'11" centre. How significant will his presence inside be as we await the introductions? These two have already met, of course, earlier in this group with Japan going down 71-77. Philippines, of course, looking to keep pace with Australia as much as they can. Don't think that this is going to be an all-home crowd here as we see the naturalised player for Japan head out onto court. That is, of course, Ira Brown. But these Japanese fans have produced wonderful scenes in this FIBA Basketball World Cup China 2019 qualification process already. There's the coach, Julio Lamas. And listen to the noise. All of these players will be cheered to the rafters. Halon, Ravena, Norwood receiving particular reward, but not as much as Jason Castro, instrumental in Gilas' victory in Japan back in November. Fajardo, plenty of height from him. Rosario. Melixi, the shooting guard. And then Aguilar with Matthew Wright bringing up the rear. And there's Vincent Reyes, all calm and collected before the big occasion, which will begin with the renditions of the 2 national anthems.
First, the national anthem of Japan. Please remain standing for the national anthem of the Philippines, to be rendered by Ms. Lara Maige.
What a wonderful rendition of the Philippines national anthem. And after the pleasantries are dealt with, we'll soon be set to go inside this magnificent arena. Remember, the Philippines, of course, very much part of the staging of FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 as we see the three officials in charge for tonight. And it's likely to be a rather lively atmosphere when we get underway. Of course, the Philippines and Japan will be staging the World Cup in 2023. And this, one of the arenas, it hosts between 15 and 20,000. And you'll see 4 venues in place for 2023 in Bacau, Quezon City, Pasay and Pasig. That all to come, though. Japan with very much the tall order to take on under coach Julio Lamas. 3 straight defeats, not a massive amount of height there either. Are they going to be able to take on Blatch inside? That responsibility in part taken on by Ira Brown and Takeuchi. No center, as you can see, a 3-guard setup with Hijima, Shiniyama and Tanaka will get things going for Coach Lamas. And there, the guy they've got to stop. Andre Blatch. So too, the likes of Matthew Wright. But it's inside that the Philippines should have the advantage. And this is their lineup. As I say, Andre Blatch, 6'11", 32 years of age. And not just him, but Rosario in support at 6'7" at small forward. And it's no surprise to see Blatch in that lineup, along with Norwood and Jason Castro, or Jason William as he prefers to be called on the graphics, alongside Norwood. 2 real threats for Japan to deal with. They believe in their basketball and they believe in the Gilas. But after defeat to Australia, Coach Reyes certainly knows his team's limitations. In fact, they led by 5 points in the second quarter in Melbourne on Thursday. But it was in the second half when Australia really took it away from them. Julio Lamas, he has definitely got some work to do. And there, Coach Reyes, well, trying to get his team to settle into a more international style. I'm sure we'll see comparisons as we go here. Real physicality they had to dealt with. Not an issue, you would think, for the likes of Blatch, who looks one mean and moody player right now. Can Gabe Norwood deliver? Can't just leave it to Blatch inside. Has to be that outside threat. And Castro can certainly do that. So we're almost set to get on the way. Philippines with a 2-on-1 record. Japan 0-3. And it's Japan who have the first possession. And instinctively laying up and driving to the baskets is Atsuya Ota. Handy starts for Japan in these opening moments. Here is Blatch. Look for plenty of work from him. Outside shooting not quite working for Gilas just yet, and Japan come away with it. Shiniyawa with the initial turnover. There is Hijima just rolling out for him. Blatch tries the three-point play and then gets a second bite of the cherry inside, and listen to the noise inside the arena. It's going to be lively, whatever happens. Shiniyawa back outside, and Ira Brown, the 6'4" forward, playing his basketball in the Japanese league at Ryukyu, with the tray. Blatch almost hogging the ball right now. Gets it back outside as well to the corner, where it's waiting for Norwood, but he can't exploit the possession. And Japan with a fast break. Decent layup. Tanaka with real pace and draws the foul off Blatch, and that's going to be key for Japan. Remember, this was tight when these two teams met in Tokyo back in November. Just 6 points separating them. Japan certainly shocked last time out by Chinese Taipei in Yokohama. Beaten by a point. And they have to get ahead early, you would think, here, and just see if they can hang on. As Tanaka goes to the line. Fails to add the extra. I think it was a double attempt in the end from Matthew Wright. Japan with all the early moves, and there's one from Brown. Wide open, he couldn't fail to miss. Japan have certainly come here determined. Norwood, Blatch. Drives it straight down the lane. Doesn't take any messing around. And lands inside. Certainly going to be an intense encounter, this one. If the opening 2.5 minutes are anything to go by. Great layup. Tanaka once again. Playing his basketball in Tokyo at the moment. Norwood drawn for the foul. And Tanaka will go to the line. The power and the reach of Andre Blatch. And in contrast, the silky skills of Tanaka from the line. 6-point lead for Japan. Early stages, but encouragement so far. Here he is once again, almost hogging the ball again, but he can't find Wright. Tanaka for Japan. Nice step from Hijima, and draws the foul once again. They have the momentum already early on. And timeout called, and that seems a good call to me. Vincent Reyes wanted to stop Japan in their tracks early on and get some pattern to his team's play. Let's listen in.
Everyone is walking. They make a shot, we're walking. Hey, please go back. Quick inbound. Stop calling a play. Run out and go open. Attack. I haven't seen anyone attacking. Attack the fuck out in the first 10 seconds. Only one pick and roll. We are scored. But open river.
Well, it's looking like already the Ira Brown and Andre Blatch show. Certainly in these opening moments. Ira Brown, of course, the former Gonzaga man. And Blatch with so many years experience with the Wizards and the Nets, of course, in the NBA. And latterly seen playing his club basketball in China with Xinjiang. So Japan, ball, Tanaka, Brown. It's back now with Shiniawa. Tanaka can't land the jumper, and Blatch with the rebound. Almost in slow motion as he drives down the lane, but he's got so much power, he shouldn't need it. But Japan have blocked the lane very successfully there. Takeuchi with nowhere to go. Space found by Shiniyama. Oh, brilliant pass from Shiniyama, and that is some finish from Hijima. Japan delivering early on here in Manila. They lead by 9. And Gilas with plenty to think about right now. Fiado, it's gone out of bounds, and Japan are applauding because it's their ball. And it takes some confirmation from the officials to persuade them. There it is. And Japan just can't miss right now. This time it's Shiniyama. And already concern amongst the home fans here. Right, looking for Fajardo, but yet again turned over by Japan. Tanaka. Having a dream opening quarter here, the visitors. Hijima pops it up and lands the inside shot. Makoto Hijima. Look at that scoreline. 14 points up inside Manila. And the Philippines just can't seem to land an open shot at the moment. Tanaka once more. Michael all on himself, inside, but what a block that is. Fajardo saying no, and in no uncertain terms. Takeuchi had no answer to that. Great pass from Tanaka. And even if it's going to get called a foul, I don't think it is. It's a block. Reyes certainly wanted more from his players before that. In fact, it has been called as a foul. Was initially a block on my screen. Fajardo then called for the foul. Takeuchi lands the first of 2. Got to be unlucky. It's one of those, isn't it? We can't say that the officials are favouring the home team with a call like that. They'll call it as they see it. 20 points already on the board for Japan. We've barely played 5 minutes. And they lead the Philippines inside the Mall of Asia Arena in Manila by 16 points. It can't last, but we've got a game on here. Blatch back outside. Here's Ravina for three. Gilas respond. And we, my friends, have a game. It's turning into quite a game already. Shiniyama, Brown, Takeuchi, Tanaka with all the pressure on him right now. Back to Shiniyama off the rim. Blatch with the rebound. Listen to that noise already. Blatch is going to take responsibility himself. Go inside to Fajardo. Foul called, I think, on Brown. Real feature of Asian qualifying so far has been the atmosphere, the colour, and the noise. And you're getting that in spades inside this wonderfully atmospheric venue. We certainly need more from his players, does Coach Reyes, as it's not the best shooting from the line for Gilas. Ujima finds Shiniyama under pressure. Brown with the fadeaway jumper off the rim. Blatch the rebound once again. He's getting through some work already. 4 rebounds to make that. Oh, lovely step from Kiefer Ravina. And this crowd already into this. Deficit cut back to 11 for the Philippines. Brown. Shiniyama. Almost lost it. Came off Ravina, so it's no backcourt violation. Shiniyama losing it again. Ravina will pick it up this time. But unfortunately, it doesn't work for Gilas. But they love the hustle. They love the determination here. And as Pagoy comes on, Roger Ray Pagoy, 16 on his back. There's Ravina, determined to steal the ball away. There's Pagoy, and there's a pretty obvious foul from Hijima. That's our home director is making sure you get at least 2 replays of. Timeout called though.
When Black got the ball, sino yung point guard? Oh, London, blue pa rin, blue. Let's go, blue, let's go, blue. Number 3. Okay. Just run your open. We penetrate, they can't stop us. Get to the rack, let's go.
That was wonderful grit from Ravina to make that jumper. And Coach Reyes certainly wanting more of that from the Philippines. Uto now on the court, as you can see, as Pagoy goes to the line. This is going to be some game if this opening quarter is anything to go by. Remember, you got a World Cup basketball. Get all the details on FIBA Basketball World Cup China 2019. Qualifying from around the world taking place this weekend. Blatch once more, all on his own, puts it up. Uto. Here's Takeuchi. Tsuji now on the court as well. Floats it all the way across to Tanaka. 8 seconds on the shot clock. In fact, that's pause, so only 3 seconds left on the board above the basket. Away comes Blatch. He's going to drive it in himself off the glass. Can't land it. But picked up by the Philippines. Blatch from the corner this time. If he nails that three, the place is going to go nuts. And they go nuts anyway, because Ota's called for the foul. This is a very, very handy and much needed run the Philippines developing here. Onto the court comes Calvin Albueva. And look for the nudge from Ota. There it is. Straightforward call. Philippines on a real run at the moment. The deficit cuts to 7. Here is Albueva. Goes back outside. Ravina. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And the Philippines are turning it on in front of their home crowd, who are suitably turned on. Japan just going cold at the moment. Lead cut to 5, and away comes Ravina once more. Gilas on fire right now. Ravina's not going to take it on himself again, is he? Back to Blatch. Blatch down the lane. Back to Ravina for 3. Air ball. A little anticlimax for the crowd. Fajardo, all stolen. And away comes Tsuji for Japan. This game going at a rate of 100 miles an hour right now. Look at the turnovers there. Philippines by far the most costly with possession right now. Ota. Ooh. And Philippines can't stop Ota with the layup in the end, even though home fans all looking for the call. Referee right on the spot. Got it right. Japan, surprisingly, with more points in the paint. Blatch not nearly as effective as he thought he might be. Draws the foul there, though. It's going to be Harimoto, as you can see, for his first, and Blatch will go to the line. I'm going to look at this again. Tsuji getting a terrific block from Ota, who's absolutely crunched Pagoy there. Ravina, though, looking very, very sharp from downtown. Blatch to the line now for 2. Philippines struggling from the other line at the moment, 50% compared to Japan's 80%. Japan's completion, mind you, from outside the arc. Perfect right now. Blatch misses both. There's another foul called there. And Gilas are going to go back to the line in a moment. Coach Reyes already looking like he's going through agonies. Blatch gets another try. In fact, gets a chance to retake that second attempt. As we see Blatch take a seat. And in comes Rosario. And he's 6'7", small forward. Now Japan need to not just stop the bleeding, they need to cauterize the wound right now. Tanaka was looking so sharp early on. Uto stolen from him. Away comes Ravina. Crowd comes alive. Philippines lay it up. Rosario with the layup. Listen to the noise every time the Philippines get within closing distance. Tanaka needs to spark something. Oh, there's contact there under the basket. Ota and Albueva. Not quite a meeting of minds, more a meeting of bone on bone. Ravina, lovely move. And there's nothing whatsoever Japan can do to keep Rosario out. Some fiery contest there. Again, Japan unable to convert their opportunities here. Just one layup from Ota in the last few moments, and he's missed both from the line there. Not impossible. The Philippines could be level or even ahead before half-time. Abueva all on his own, tips in! It's Bagoy! Rosario, I beg your pardon. Philippines back to within a point. What a comeback this has been. Japan can't wait for this first quarter. Well, they can get a moment's breather as it goes out of bounds. Rosario there to finish things off. What an atmosphere. What a contest we've got right now. Bagoy and Tsuji don't particularly like each other right now. And they take a chance to bring Norwood back into the game at the expense of Fajardo. 4.5 seconds on the clock. Tanaka will have to do it all himself, you would think. Floats it up, off the rim, and that brings to an end a quite fascinating opening quarter. Gilas down by one when it could have been so many. 22-21 Japan lead, and they'll be glad to get to the bleachers after the way that quarter ended. Well, and Takeuchi made his 2 free throws with 5 minutes 16 left on the clock. Philippines led 20 points to 4. Look at the turnaround. Inside presence has finally arrived from the Philippines. They're still missing plenty of shots outside, however. Free throws hardly a factor of beauty right now for either team so far. These some of the moments of the first half. Tanaka getting plenty of room. Getting Brown open. First for the layup and then the dunk. Japan were just so bright early on. Shiniawa there for 3. Still hurting, I'm sure, from that defeat to Gilas in Tokyo back in November. But Ravina got hot. 5 straight from him at one stage. Too many turnovers in the end from Japan. Just at the wrong moment as well. Coach Lamas going through agony there, you'd say. Not one offensive rebound either for Japan so far. Ethan Ravina, though, having a real influence. 12-0 since he got into this. Here goes Bagoy, all his own, gets it back outside. Rosario! Philippines lead. And don't the home fans tell you that? Smiles all round the arena. Well, there might be another Japanese turnover. It's been lost by Hijima. Great hustle from Abueva. Rosario yet to miss, incidentally. 3 from 3 for him from the corner, and the fans are already celebrating even before he puts the ball up. Bagoy going this way and that. The long 2 is not an issue. Japan have to just stop this right here, right now. They trail by 4 now. when at one stage they led by 16. Hashimoto. Jima back to Hashimoto with Tsuji waiting patiently in the corner. Over on the far side, though, is Harimoto. Once again, Japan come away with no points. Abueva over the top is waiting for him, Fajardo. And there the timeout called. It had to come as well, and the Philippines know they're in charge. Manila awakes to the sound of Gilas fans. Timeout, Japan. Abueva there with the lovely touch to pick out Jumar Fajardo. Look at that on the bench. Philippines basketball on a high at the moment after getting the World Cup in 2023. And then instructions from the Japanese coaching team really getting stuck into their players. Making a 19-0 run, and at Kazuki 5 are under all sorts of pressure right now. 6 points, the deficit now for Japan. What can Coach Lamas come up with? Brown, Harimoto, Hashimoto, Jima, Tsuji on the court. Here is Harimoto. Kojima to Brown. Fajardo for company. Oh, not even close. Brown looking for some sort of call, possession or otherwise. Oh my God, Gonzaga man beating all ends up there by Fajardo. As you'd expect, Brown 6'4" forward. Fajardo 6'10" centre. And here is Fajardo. They just can't miss right now. Hashimoto going this way and that. Brown, Harimoto. Hijima back inside to Harimoto. Hashimoto looking at options. Brown being left to do an awful lot of work. There was a nudge there from Ravina. Foul called on the Philippines. But Ravina is getting through so much work right now. He's brought a real energy to the Gilas play.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
Whatever you do, don't raise your armpit like that in public. Brown. We go from the low post. Being double team watched very closely by Ravina on the zone defense. Foul called though on Rosario. They're perfect at shooting right now, 3 from 3. That's his first foul. Contreras less than enamoured by that decision. That was, well, if it was a foul, it was a pretty painful foul for Rosario. Inside to Brown, can't finish. Japan still looking for points in this second quarter. Abueva gets past Ijima as if he's not there. What a layup that is! Calvin Abueva. What a record that is. Can Brown bring an end to the agony for Japan? No, he can't. Abueva is all over the place right now. And he's got the sneaking smile of someone who knows he's got his opponent exactly where he wants him. He did it at the other end of the court a moment or two as well. Some layup, nothing Brown can do there. Foul called on Abueva. And he'll take a seat. Philippines perfect shooting at the moment. Brown misses the free throw as well. Coach Lamas is going crazy. Not entirely certain he needs an interpreter to convey his rage right now. And Brown gets Japan on the board. No, he can't. Misses both. Gilas lead by 10, and they trail by 19 at one point. There's Rosario, 4 from 4. Japan with all sorts of problems now. Floats it up quite brilliantly by Suji, and he takes the foul as well. Would have been a brilliant three. Bagoy, his first foul. We'll watch the put back from Rosario.
3 free throws for Naoto Tsuji.
And Suji just doing enough to draw the foul. And finally, Japan have a point in this second quarter. It's been a long time coming, though. 3 minutes and 16. And where did Japan get back into this right now? Being outgunned inside. Outside shooting not quite worked for them in this latter part of the second half. 2 from 3 nailed by Suji. Bagoy. Chalalon. Back to Bagoy. He's got Rosario in there with him. From outside. There's first miss from Rosario. But the rebound is Chalalon. Bagoy from outside. Rebound taken by Norwood. Philippines keep on going. There's Norwood. Gabe Norwood brings Manila to life. Philippines in complete control of this right now. Brown under all sorts of pressure now, Japan. Still to land an open shot, and they won't from that possession either. Philippines ball. Such is the dominance that Andre Blatch hasn't been seen in the second quarter so far. Coach Reyes able to rotate his roster very successfully. As we see Suji take a seat. And in for the first time comes Takatoshi Furukawa. Chalalon finds Bagoy. Fajardo. Bagoy to put it up. Air ball in the end. Brown drawing the foul from Chalalon. It's going to take an awful lot more if Japan are going to get something out of this right now. Back into the game comes Matthew Wright. Bagoy sets down. Philippines, though, already on 16 fouls. So, chance for Brown to go to the line. Bagoy now missing now then for the Philippines, who, well, were respectable against Australia in Melbourne on Thursday. Going down 68-84. But Japan still looking for that first win in qualification. It could yet be a scrap between them and Chinese Taipei to make it into the second round of qualification. Brown makes a second. 2 from 2 for him. 7 points, as you can see, in all. 7 points down, though. some work to do, Japan. Right. Finds Jalal. Almost loses it. Back again. The rebound, though, from Fajardo. And he'll draw the foul from Shiniyawa.
Foul is out of the 51. Takatoshi Furukawa, his first foul, first team foul for Japan.
Back in comes Gabe Norwood, as does Kiefer Ravina. Well, that'll please the crowd, given his exploits in the first quarter. Coach Lamas urging his players to produce more. Gilas are putting all sorts of press on them. Ravina in, Jalal out, incidentally. One from two. Shiniyawa. Oh, it's a great step. Wonderful space, back outside. No good from Furukawa, and away comes Gilas. From the three-point line comes Gabe Norwood. Philippines are just lining it up all the way around this arena. Doesn't matter where they are, they find open shots. And they find a way to dominate the Japanese. Brown, though, with the layup, draws the foul from Juma. He's got through some work there, the 6'10" centre. But that was just sublime from Norwood. No wonder Japan coach is perspiring a little. Down 50. What a swing that is when Japan led by 16 themselves. Tsujima back in, Tanaka out, Blatch is back in now for the Philippines. Fajardo will step out. Brown, well, that's average, to put it mildly. 2 from 6 now from the line. Better, though, from Ijima from the corner. Ah, Japan needed something like that. Here is Andre Blatch. Oh, stolen. Shiniyawa comes away with it. Brown is waiting for it inside. Surely going to lay it up. Thought he'd drawn the foul at one stage. Blatch a little late, though. And that lead back to 10 for Gilas. As Wright rather hurries the shot from downtown. Japan with a chance to get this disadvantage into single digits. Ijima can go on its own. Finds the hands of Takeuchi, but Takeuchi can't find the basket. Blatch picks out Norwood. Right. Blatch almost a man mountain with the screen. Ravina, oh, wonderful putback attempt. Couldn't make it count, though. Ijima. Shiniyawa. Shiniyawa again, he's got Blatch for company. Can Goliath lose to David? He can when Brown is there for company. Timeout called. That's a decent little run from Japan. Cuts the gap back to 8. They're back in this when they were dead and buried after not scoring for 5 minutes in the second quarter. Timeout, Philippines. Well, Shiniyawa has really put it on for Japan in these last few moments, setting up Brown for the easy layup. They can certainly do with more of that as we approach the end of the half here. Ira Brown, 11 points to his name. There we go, right on cue, his stats. 50% shooting from the floor. And his shooting from the line, less than impressive. Philippines are going to build back their momentum. Ravina gets it back from Pagoy. Blatch inevitably. Ravina, Pagoy. Open there is Rosario in the corner. Rolls out. Brown with a crucial rebound. Inside the last 3.5. Can Japan finish strongly here? Well, they will if they produce layups like that one for Makata Hajime. 6'3" point guard. Quite beautiful with the layup. Rosario. Norwood. Oh, back inside to Rosario. That's superb. Nothing Brown could do. The lane open, and he took the lane very well indeed. Shiniawa. Takeuchi. That's with Hajime. All ends up beaten there. Blatch never looked likely to give him any space. Norwood's three-point attempt is off the rim. And the foul, I think, called on Takeuchi.
Only foul is on number 7, Yusei Shiniama. That's his first foul.
Shiniama, in fact, called for it, maybe slightly earlier in the play.
14 seconds on the shot clock.
That was a very nice layup set up for Rosario. Oh, Ravina is in open court. Blatch, it just fell for him nicely, didn't it? Pagoy. Norwood. Back to Pagoy. And suddenly, Gilas have gone cold from outside. Hajime. Most dangerous Japanese player right now, and that's why getting all sorts of open space. And look at the reaction with Coach Reyes. Real defensive miscommunication there. And suddenly Japan are back within 6. Norwood looking for some inspiration now, Gilas. Norwood inside to Blatch. Blatch looking to go down the lane in slow motion, but that's a great block from Hajime, and foul called as well in pure frustration on the Philippines. Blatch just unable to get any momentum. They're not giving him the time or the space. And Takeuchi right on the spot. What about that from Hajime? Great block. And Takeuchi certainly making sure the officials saw that, I think it's fair to say. But that just earlier at the other end of the court. Hajime now 11 points to his name. 5 from 6 shooting, incidentally, from the floor. Hashimoto gets it to Hajime. Now Furukawa has a noble effort at points. Rosario drawn for another foul. Harimoto so strong in that situation, and he'll go to the line and can cut the gap to 4. Back into the game. Back out of the game goes Norwood. It's Castro, Jason Castro goes back in, and Blatch is not enjoying life right now. 2 from 2 shooting. Can't ask for more than that from Harimoto. 4-point game. We're inside the final minute now. Who's going to have the advantage going into the second half? Rosario. Pagoy. He's been closed off there by Japan, and the frustration and the tension builds. Straight out of bounds. Japan ball, and still 34 seconds remaining. And they even get a second possession. It looks unlikely now at this stage. But they can get to within a bucket. And what an achievement that would be, the way it was going early on in this second quarter. Hajime has it knocked from his hands, and there's a foul call on Pagoi, it looks like. And 2 shots coming up, so maybe there is time for Japan, as long as Hajime can make both of these. Makoto Hajime playing his club basketball in Makawa these days. 5 from 6 from the floor. His first from the line, successful 2. And the second, 13 points to his name. Matthew Wright called back in for Philippines on this last possession. Can't afford to give Japan the ball at this stage. Pagoi steps out. It's going to be down to Castro, you would think. 5 seconds remaining. Floats it into the corner where Rosario's waiting. Nails the 3 and brings the half to an end in slightly happier circumstances than Gilas might have thought at one point. They lead by 5, but a real contrast in runs. Philippines 16 points down in the first quarter, getting back and leading by plenty themselves, and then Japan drawing them all the way back again. Philippines clearly with the advantage off the glass there, as you can see on rebounds, but it's been mightily competitive, and Japan getting more opportunities at the line thanks to 14 Philippines fouls in that first half compared to 6 of their own. Japan have led by 16, Philippines have led by 15, and Rosario's tray bringing some smiles to those home fans. Blatch enjoyed that one from the bench as well. He'll play a significant part in that second half, you would think. 7.6 rebounds to him, but it's 14 for Rosario, 6 from 8. And this magnificent Mall of Asia arena has been richly entertained, and the fans in the bleachers have certainly contributed to what's been a magnificent atmosphere. Ira Brown helping to inspire Japan early on. 11 points to his name at the end of the half. Shiniyama, the captain, leading by example, particularly late on in the second. Abueva continuing to feed the likes of Ravina. He went on a bit of a run towards the back end of the first and the top of the second. More examples here. Great assist. Pagoi watching on as Rosario takes the easy layup in the end on the fast break. More from Ravina. Over the top to Fajardo. It's been a joy to watch the Philippines, and with such inside presence and the speed of Abueva, they can cause a threat any number of different positions on the court. Rosario creating the space for Norwood to exploit. Coach Lamas for Japan. Don't know whether to tear his hair out or to go and seek a lie down. But Hajime spat something going, and this time it was Coach Reyes to show his frustration. Threw his clipboard down at one stage rather angrily. And it's going to be an exciting second half to come, you would think. Who's going to get on top in this crucial game in Group B? Remember, Philippines 2-1, Japan 0-3, looking to hang on to the coattails of not just the Philippines, but Chinese Taipei, who lost earlier today in Melbourne to Australia. So a lot to look forward to. Join us for the second half shortly. intriguing second half awaits then in Manila with both Philippines and Japan on all sorts of runs during that first half. And the two teams separated by just the 5 points, 46-41. Extraordinary stat that whilst you had 14 points for Troy Rosario, a game high figure that was. Japan opened up 24 up, and then the Philippines took the next 37 of 43 points before Japan then went on another run of their own, 17-2. Can't quite believe that first half turned out the way it did, but it did. And we'll be soon set to go with Japan looking to get over the line for the first time in this FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 group qualifier. This is Group B, of course. Japan yet to get a win out of their first 3 games. Philippines 2-1 record for them. Japan next up host Australia at home. And they'll really be under the cosh, you would think. And Chinese Taipei, a little trip there awaiting. You know, Chinese Taipei winning on Thursday in Yokohama by just the point. Philippines, well, they have that in reverse. Chinese Taipei on the road, first up in June. And then it's Australia at home in the Manila. What an atmosphere that's going to be as they take on the multi-Asia champions. Coach Reyes getting a few last exhortations to his charges. What does Coach Lamas tell his players on the Japanese side? They're well in this contest, but can they sustain a run? That means they can stay within touching distance of the Gilas. Ravina, Castro, Fajardo, Rosario and Wright on the court for the Philippines. And keep an eye out for Blatch, mind you. You can argue Kiefer Ravina sparking the run in the first one. Well, there is Blatch. So we'll wait confirmation of the starting 5 in the second half for Philippines. Philippines ball to start us off. And it's Shinyama getting the ball off Ravina's feet. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Blatch, Fajardo, Norwood, Pavoy and Ravina on court for the Philippines. Brown, Ijima, Shinyama, Takeuchi and Tanaka. It is Tanaka feeding Brown. Oh, how did the layup not drop for him? Deserved everything as well. Not going the way of Gilas on that occasion. As Brown is still, I'm sure, pondering the fates from that last possession. Gilas finds Ravina. Pagoy back to Blatch. Blatch with Hijima for company, and now Tanaka doing his best to slow him down. It's like pedestrians against Godzilla. Oh, what a 3 that is, and it counts as well. Ravina doing what he did in the first half. Oh, poor pass from the Japanese catch in Ryusei Shinyama. .5'10" point guard, needing something to go his way. Just floated up in time. And he knew it was up in time as well, did Kiefer Ravina. 11 points to his name now. Goy finds Blatch. Important Japan can stay in touch here with Gilas. Blatch finally getting to the basket. Won't drop for him though. And there's 14 seconds remaining. to Blatch, the world's most unlikely looking point guard. He's giving it away, that's why. Brown comes away with it and draws the foul. It's an unsportsmanlike too on Gabe Norwood. He's protesting his innocence. But the officials don't change their mind very often. They'll have to deal with the situation. It's quite right from the officials. No question in my mind that Norwood knows exactly what he's doing. And Coach Lammer's very pleased with the call as well. So it's Brown. Let's go to the line for two. But again, free throw shooting pretty average in this game so far. 60% for Japan before that from Brown. 50% for the Philippines. Both go awry. And we'll have Japan ball, which still trailed by 8. Yet to get on the mark in this third quarter. Took an age to get the first points in the second. Kojima eventually gets some help. Tanaka out to the corner. Shiniyama nails a very important tray for Japan. 2 points called by the officials though. Some debate about it. 49-43 on my screen. Norwood gets it back from Kiefer. And they're all battling for it inside there. Kojima taking on Fajardo. What about this from Shiryo? Well, it's a clear three from my side there. And I suspect the clock will be changed in a moment, or at least the scoring. In fact, that may well be what the officials are just trying to arrange right now. Still hasn't been added to the board that you can see on the screen. One way or another, they're going to take another look. He's perfectly fine as far as I can see. I don't quite know what all the fuss is about. 3-point field goal called as it should have been straight away. Blatch almost losing it under pressure from Nyoji Takeuchi. (49-44) will be the score on your graphic in a moment. (12 seconds on the shot clock. Norwood looking at his options, finds Fajardo. He's out of bounds. Who's it off? It's off Japan. Philippines ball, and now 8 seconds on the shot clock. Norwood. Ravina gets a screen, almost loses it. Back out to the corner. Here's Pagoy off the rim. Great rebound. Flying in the air from Ira Brown. Shiniyama back out to the corner. Takeuchi doesn't make it this time, and we're back up to date now on your scoring. 5-point game. And so much to enjoy. Here's Ravina. Fajardo from mid-range, no problem. Tanaka, lovely dish provided by Brown. Gilas fans are calling for something there. Takeuchi will draw the foul from Fajardo, even though he hates it. The crowd hates it. Takeuchi may not want to come back to the Philippines in a hurry. Lovely place as it is. I think it was a block. There wasn't an awful lot of contact there. A good screen from Fajardo there to create some space where Ravina could supply him. Takeuchi to the line. Furukawa in the game now for Japan. So to Ota. Out steps Hijima and Brown. Harder now on 3 fouls, as is Abueva. Takeuchi makes both. Back to a 5-point game. Still plenty of time for Japan to get into this one, as Blatch picks out Norwood. There is Norwood inside to Fajardo. Rebound from Blatch. Under all sorts of pressure, gets the layup and the and one. Andre Blatch doing what Gilas need him to do. He was almost stood still for longer than seemed necessary. Furukawa trying to battle in there. But the foul on Furukawa. Andre Blatch goes from strength to strength. The and one, bringing up double digits for him. 10 points in his name, 7 rebounds too. Japan just hanging on in there at the moment. Here's Tanaka. Takeuchi has Blatch for company, the broad chest in his way. And the mid-range from Shinyama doesn't connect. Oh, that's good work from Japan. Takeuchi eventually stealing it, and somehow Shinyama can't come away with it. It was such good hustle from him, though. Seen less sliding in Pyeongchang for the last couple of weeks. He is so set on getting Japan their first victory, isn't he? Rusai Shinyama. Blatch, though, trying to drive it in for the Philippines. Here's Wright for 2. Won't drop for him. Falls away at Blatch. Another rebound going Japan's way. Furukawa this time on hand. And foul 2 as well. Philippines not slow to give the odd foul here and there. Rosario's third. Now on 14 fouls. Rebounds, though, as you can see, very much in the home team's favour. Taguchi. Shinyama. Looking for some inspiration. Tanaka, all beaten all ends up by Norwood. Read it superbly. Blatch. Oh, crowd demanding that Wright should go for the 3-point play. The right decision. Ravina inside. Can Blatch get onto it? Yes, he can. But can he get it back outside? No, he'll take it himself. Andre Blatch really coming into his own now. 5 from 12. 10 rebounds. 12 points to his name. A double-double. And he's got virtually the entire Japanese team around him. And not one of them can take it off him. Don't you love the reaction from the fans and the bleachers? Into the game comes Calvin Abueva. Rosario has done enough for Coach Reyes' satisfaction right now, but 5 team fouls now. Ravina picks up another. That's Shinyama misses the first. 2 fouls so far for Ravina. I feel Japan have just got to raise it a gear if they're going to get near the Gilas. Deficit of 9 they need to make up, as we see another change for Japan. Takeuchi steps out and Harimoto comes in. Gilas lead by 9. Oh, stolen. It's Tanaka on the fast break. Lays it up. He's looking for the foul. Abueva's looking for the foul. nothing given. Here is Abueva. With Ravina for company, but it's only going to go to one man. Blatch from mid-range, off the rim. Oh, great rebound. Furukawa with strong play. Tanaka spins this way and that. Harimoto, back to Furukawa. Off the rim, who's going to get it? It's Abueva. He takes a facial for his trouble, I think. Philippines quite happy to wind the clock down a little. Right, back to Abueva. Spin and turn down the lane. Oh, he can't find the layup, but draws the foul. And there's all sorts of fun and games going on. Furukawa in Abueva's face, and likewise, there might have been a headbutt there too. Let's see what the officials are going to make of this. Coach Lamas is certainly involved right from the other end of the court. Now watch the reactions here. Abueva in there. Harimoto is trying to find the ball too. Might get a better view from here. Abueva did not like that one little bit. Harimoto. Tanaka in the face. And it felt like Furukawa was quite keen to continue the conversation there. Abueva will go to the line. But you can tell he's not a happy boy right now. Tanaka is called for a foul. In fact, Tanaka is taken out of the game entirely. Hijima steps in. Abueva with the inbounds. Here's Wright. Going to see a repeat. Oh, it's a great block. But Abueva gets his revenge. And he's looking directly at the Japanese players when he puts the Philippines up by another 2 points. Look at that, second chance points. That comes from strong rebounding, doesn't it? Inside from Shinyama. That'll be a terrific layup if Hijima can finish it, but he can't. And away comes Abueva, who's got the bit between his teeth right now. Trying to draw contact down the lane, and he gets 2 more. There's a smile of satisfaction on Calvin Abueva's face. Shinyama for Japan. Won't drop for him. Gillas in control. I wonder whether there might be a timeout coming for Japan. Ravina back to Blatch. Blatch, though, drawing the foul. I think it was off. I'd see Ota there. And he's 6'9" centre. Calvin Abueva's stats making very pleasant reading. 3 from 5. And that's the main reason that Japan have to call a timeout at this stage. Just over 3 minutes to play in the third, and they've got big problems down by 11.
No respect to us. Number 8, go. 5. Make the basket. Enjoy with the people. Right. Squeeze. LeBron James. The same, huh? So Matt goes first. We go through here. After that screen, elevator for Matt coming off there. Okay? If Matt doesn't have a shot, Dre, you be down here. If Matt doesn't have the shot, Dre is the short corner. Short corner si Dre. High post.
Well, Calvin Abueva wants to take on the entire Japanese team single-handedly right now. Full of fire and brimstone right now. It's a terrific block from Hijima initially, that wasn't it? But then Abueva got on top of it. And you know where he's looking there. He's not looking at the crowd. He's looking at his opponent. 6 points to his name. Philippines in control at the moment, but still time for Japan, and Blatch is really seeing some action now. Here's Castro, Jason Castro. Picks out right. Blatch is going to try and drive it home himself. There's the layup. There's the power. And there is Blatch proving his critics wrong. 14 points, a double-double as well. Plenty of rebounds to mention too. Uto. Oh, it's almost lost by Hijima, and eventually Japan do see it go out of bounds, but there's just over 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Not lots for them to get something out of this possession. There is Blatch. He's a triple team there. Japan have no answer to him. Well, that certainly helps. Ota with the layup. Norwood finds Abueva. Castro. Blatch once again. They're just going to keep feeding him. But strong for him to get down the baseline. And this time it's Norwood who profits from Blatch's hard work. 13 points. Not the Philippines' biggest lead, but it could be their most significant until Makoto Hijima for Japan. The lead back to 10. Hijima way into double digits. Abueva enjoying the contest and the confrontation right now. But it's off the rim, and Furukawa takes the rebound, and there's a foul caught on Blatch. Andre Blatch with 3 fouls shouldn't be a problem from this point onwards. Nothing Japan are going to do to stop that, but this was a lovely flick of the wrist from Hijima, who's been Japan's most dangerous scorer. And once again, the Philippines in the penalty, so 2 from the line for Uto hit here. And he makes both, which is exactly what they needed. They're down by 8 now. Here's Aguilar into the game. Cameras just keep following Abueva, but Blatch takes a well-earned break. He may yet be needed in that final quarter, so probably smart from Coach Reyes to take him out now. Norwood to Aguilar on the layup. Could have been a fine introduction. That's a decent rebound from Uto, but he's called for a foul, much to his surprise. Coach Lamas certainly shares his view. This game at a crucial stage. 1 minute 26 to play in the third. Castro for 3. Well, he did damage to Japan all night back in Tokyo in November. He's doing the same again here. Oh, what a layup that could have been for Uto. He draws the foul, and they're definitely just keeping in this. Philippines perhaps with the more opener shots. Japan having to really work to get players open. Uto to the line for 2. Aguilar called for the foul. Quite ironic, of course, that Abueva very much in the centre of events right now. Doesn't play his club basketball in this arena in Manila. Less than popular, I think it's fair to say, normally. But he's everyone's hero, at least those supporting Gilas. Here's Castro once again! 2 for 2! Jason Castro-Williams arriving at the party late, but sometimes it's respectably late. Inside the last minute. 13 points down Japan. They need an answer. Uto looking for the screen from Ota. Harimoto Gives space to Hijima. Oh, that's a wonderful, wonderful assist. Hijima on fire right now. And Ota the beneficiary. But they're still down by 11. Defense has got a hold here. Castro William putting them under pressure. Zatman Abueva free. Floats it up. Brilliant! And he almost drew the and 1-2. Look at that smile. It is $1 million. Last chance saloon for Japan in this quarter at least. That was some layup once again from Hijima. Draws the foul from Abueva. They're determined to get him out of the game. And that's Abueva's fourth foul. So he might have to come out now. And indeed he does. Sensible option from Coach Reyes. Doesn't need to take a chance. Back into the game comes Kiefer Ravina. To the line goes Hijima. Standings, incidentally, looking like this in Group B after Hijima makes both. Ravina will float it up off the glass to no effect. Philippines lead by 11 going into the last quarter. And they will close to within a point of Australia at the top of Group B if they win this. Japan, they'll be on 4 points. And it sets up a fascinating game against Chinese Taipei, which will complete the Group B stages. But there's still plenty more to enjoy here in Manila. Game stats not looking pleasant for Japan. Started off well from outside, but they've barely had any sort of impact since the first quarter. Free throw shooting quite abysmal from both teams. There's some of the moments of the third quarter. As Tanaka came away in the fast break, almost drew the foul from Abueva. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit more of him in a moment or two. Right on cue, there he is. Floats it up, and a couple of bounces off the rim mean he's smiling once again. Blatch, though, getting more and more significant since the halftime break. Feeding Norwood, who just can't not relish that opportunity. Castro William, though, has really got it to get. Very quiet game so far. But maybe we're going to see more. Look at Coach Reyes, really pumped up on the sidelines. And it's all about who has the clearer head going into these last 10 minutes. Not a quality that Abueva is always accused of having. Look at those stats, though, for Andre Blatch. 14 points, 43% shooting and 12 rebounds. Fine game he's had as we get the final quarter underway. Blatch also with a steal and a block as well. Wright picks out Blatch and beats Brownell, ends up for the layup. Andre Blatch to 16, saving his best till last. Great work from Japan to get Baimoto free, and Brown, oh, he's got to lay it up from there. Under pressure as he was from Blatch. Castro William, all stolen by Brown almost, but Filipino managed to get it back. Brown in his face now. Here's Blatch. Will go from downtown, off the rim. Brown set up Uto. Japan have got to get a run on early in this final quarter, you think, to make this interesting. Uto. There's Tanaka. Inside to Brown. Is he going to go from the low post? He's going to try at least anyway. Steps back. The fadeaway jumper, pretty special. More from that needed by Coach Lamas. Japan looking to avoid an 0-4 record. Right now for Philippines. Blatch with Brown for company. Gets a little bit of helping hand from Harimoto. Castro William back inside. The foul drawn. Aguiar draws it from Brown. And there's the frustration shown on the face of a man who knows which way this game's going right now, and he's got to try and get it back. Only Brown's second foul, though. Imagine he will play the majority of these remaining 8 minutes and 20 seconds as Ravina steps out. Chalaron is back in the game. Gial misses the first, so what about the second, my friend? That's better. 12-point game. All the pressure on these men in white. Harimoto finds Hajima. Or just about gets it to Harimoto. Tanaka for three. Off the rim. Falls for Tanaka. Must lay it up and does. The lead back to 10. What a game he's had so far, Hajima. 80% near enough. Shooting. Up to 20 points for the game. Castro William. Brilliant steps to get past Hajima, but the block comes from Brown, I think, and away comes Tanaka. Oh, taken away. There's Chalaron for the layup. Just at the point where Japan thought they had an opportunity to get to single figures. They get it taken away from them. Something's got to give, though, soon. Hajima, good screen from Brown, and Hajima delivers for him. 23 points now, 8 from 10. And we are back to single figures, but it's deficit of 9. Blatch almost has it taken off him by Brown. Backcourt violation. Castro insistent that it came off Brown, but the officials aren't going to listen. They never, ever do, Jason. Chalaron, his little flurry in the game is brought to an end. And the replay, rather inconclusive to me. As Uto drives it to the lane, he's got to take his chance there, though. Inside this last 7 minutes, and time is not a friend of Japan right now. Ravina inside, but it won't go to the hands of Aguiar. And Japan get another opportunity. Norwood back in it. Tanaka has stepped out for Japan. Pagoy has come back in at the expense of Castro William as well. Here's Hajima for three. Most potent outlet so far for Japan. Not on that occasion. Blatch. Got through so much work in the second half. Ravina finds Aguiar, who does well to lay it up. And that just might give Philippines the breathing space they need. They lead by 11. Here's Brown for Japan, all stolen by Blatch. Going to get a chance to go down the lane. No, opts to cough it up for Pagoy. And just a little run, making it even more difficult for Japan. Harimoto. Needs some movement, but Japan looks so tired out there right now. 3-point play coming from number 3, Naota Tsuji. Back to 10. They just can't get within striking distance right now, Japan. Blatch. Calling it like a point guard right now. Aguiar for a long 2. Timeout called. Japan make it, and they just have to think of something more creative right now. They can't get to within 2 buckets, let alone 1. And what words of wisdom has Julio Lamas got from them on this occasion.
Don't make mistakes on defense, huh? You're gonna be looking for the long ball now and the transition. We gotta get back. Okay.
It's going to be 5 or elevator coming. 5 or elevator.
Okay. Yun ang nangyayari. If we post, Andre, the middle is open.
Well, that was some 3, wasn't it, from Tsuji. His first effort from downtown so far. They still believe. But Blatch, one of the main reasons why the Philippines are in front. And Pagoy. Just the sheer force of will to get there. Abueva. Well, he's all about force of will, isn't he? So Japan ball looking for a way back into this. Trailing by 12. Almost lost as well by Uto. Gets another go. Lays it up. What a block from Aguilar. Denied. This is my house, says Aguilar. And 15, 20,000 roar in support. Oh, great defense from Japan on that occasion. Tsuji picks out Brown. The spin and turn. Oh, but Uto wasn't expecting it. It's the alley-oop almost. And Japan just held out, but it's another foul drawn by Ravina. Looks like Tsuji got back in time. Harimoto, the man called for the foul, though. Well, in truth, it could have gone to either of them. What a block that was from Aguilar. You can hear the appreciation from the crowd watching these pictures on the rebound. Harimoto, some block on Blatch. Makes you wonder why Harimoto wasn't called into the game a little earlier by Coach Lamas. As Ravina makes the first, Harimoto got a couple of free throws and 1 block. Maybe with a bit more time he might have had a chance to impose himself more on Andre Blatch. Ravina with both from the line. Lead stretches out to 14. And as back in comes Takeuchi. Uto's done his bit for now. Shinyama finds Takeuchi. Tsuji. Tanaka with the fadeaway. Very nice jumper. They're a quality team, Japan, when they get it right. But they just don't have the inside presence, and that's going to be another foul called on Brown, his third. Determined to cut Blatch down in his tracks early on. Four minutes to play. Philippines with the advantage right now, but Blatch with the bad pass, picked off by Brown. Shinyama back to Brown, can't find the layup. but it's strong to the basket. And Pagoi is called for another foul. Pagoi, his third.
That's his third foul. First team foul for the Philippines. Substitution for the Philippines.
And Piardo steps in, and Andre Blatchwell is that the last to receive him in this contest. 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals and 1 block as well. It's some game. Well, more a strong second half. He wasn't entirely convincing in the first. 1 from 2 from Brown. How much have Japan got left in the tank there? Ravina with Shiniyama for company. Aguiar back to Ravina. Pagoi floats it up off the glass, and away with the rebound is Takeuchi. Shiniyama just calling for more movement in these closing stages. We've got to try and get some of this back at the very least. Shiniyama. Oh, that's a clap on Tsuji. He's been taken out by Aguilar. Question to me, is that flagrant? Because that seemed really unnecessary. Tsuji seems to be okay. But Aguilar came in at a real rate of knots with the elbow high. Well, sad to say Tsuji's made a bit of a meal of that. 3 free throws, 3 free throws, though could cut the gap back down to 9. All on Tsuji though. Well, that's the first one. Look at those free throw stats. 62 beating 60%. It's not been the height of quality, although both made so far by Tsuji. No quiet whatsoever from the fans inside the arena. And that's Tsuji's last out for a while or two. Ujima inevitably back into the contest. Japan trail by 5. Aguiar. Norwood. Here's Ravina. Calling for the screen. Going to try and get it inside to Fiado. It's stolen back by Japan. This game not over yet. We're inside the last 3. Big play now from Japan needed. Shiniyama. Here's Tanaka. Gone quiet since the opening stages. Tries to drive it back himself. Brown back to Takeuchi. Could have floated it back outside. And he's drawn the foul as well, much to Pagoi and 15,000 home fans' dislike. 4th foul on Pagoi as well, as you can hear from the Tano announcer. He's there late. Well, they're saying he got plenty of the ball, but not enough for the officials' liking. Seemed to get more hand to me. That doesn't look a bad call. No, that's a latter angle, suggesting a little more debate to the call, shall we say. Blatch has to come back in. Aguiar steps out, but all of these crucial free throws for Japan. Takeuchi makes the first. Castro back in for Ravina as well. This cut the deficit back to 7. Oh, just when Japan needed it. Castro on point then for the Philippines with Hajima right in the face. Blatch with the screen. Blatch will get it back. If you thought about the trade that he's made many tonight. Hajima getting in there strongly. Brown putting Blatch under pressure. Basket won't count. There's a foul called on Japan. It's Hajima. second, so not a hint of foul trouble as Philippines call timeout. Probably chance to take the opportunity while they can and while they are in a position of relative strength, leading by the 8 points.
You can't get surprised by a screen, by a slip, or by seeing a guard from the weak side. We all have to be ready, okay? Shot goes up, 5 guys rebounding. We need to get the rebounds. We need to make stops here, okay? You finish in the top and shot, Daik is this part, and Marco is this, Daik is this. Then top and shot, Shoji. 1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
Well, these Gillas fans have been in great voice all night. And Blatch has done more than most to raise the roof on occasions. So strong inside. Perhaps not as quick as he once was. And he's gone through the pain barrier. In terms of the number of minutes he gets through tonight, played nearly half an hour or so. As the first step from the line goes a-begging. 16 points, 13 rebounds. Mind you, he knows all about pain, having been shot in a carjacking when he was at the Wizards. Made a full recovery, thankfully. Shiniyama for Japan. Desperately need something now. We're inside the final 2 minutes. Tanaka. And they need to move quickly too, down by 9. Shiniyama for 3. That needs to drop for them. And Blatch gets the rebound. Brown, it comes off him. Philippines ball and Japan must wait their turn. Can they force a turnover though? Here's Castro. And making the Philippines work. It would be an upset win if Japan can knock the Philippines off. But Castro for 3 has no intention of letting them. Rebound taken by Ajima. Shiniyama in the corner. Tanaka. Is he going to go himself? No, it's back out to Brown. Got to make it. Well, it wiped its feet. But Japan are back to within 6. It's the tightest lead there's been for some time. Not quite panic stations yet, but there's 1 or 2 nerves around the Mall of Asia Arena in Manila. Blatch taking his time, as you'd expect. All taken away from him. Stolen. Away comes Tanaka. Goes himself, lays it up. Japan back within 4. A minute to play. Hello, my friends, this game is not over. Timeout called by Philippines. The second in a real short space of time. And what about this comeback from Japan?
Come on, guys. Come on. 1, 2, 1, let's go. Peter, si Pugoy. Depensa niyo yung shooter, ha? Saan ang inbound natin?
We can advance across our bench.
No good fire flag. No good fire. And if we cannot fast break, give the ball to Marco. And Marco play the middle pick and roll. Marco play the middle pick and roll, okay? Marco. High pass.
Let's go.
Give to Marco and pop out. And Joshi play in the short corner. Okay?
Japan on an 11-1 run right now. What was Blatch thinking? It was such a casual pass that Tanaka picked off at Manila. Crucial possession this. Minutes to play. Castro with Shiniyama in his face. Shiniyama hustling strongly for it. Not giving Castro a moment to spare. It's a great contest. Norwood back on the court. Here's Ravina. Getting some sort of screen from Vado, but it's taken away by Japan. Away comes Shimiyama. Tanaka lays it up for two. Japan within two. What a comeback this would be. Coach Reyes is in a state of shock there. Coach Lamas wants the momentum, wants the pace kept up. Philippines not going to call another timeout. 23-14 they lead this quarter. 53% shooting. It's a one-possession game. Where did this come from? The Gilas fans on the feet now. Their team need them. 7-second differential as well. Castro William could be crucial. Lays it up, and that might just be the game. Japan have to hustle. They take it quickly, though. The officials are going to call them back. 10.6 seconds to play. And just as in Tokyo back in November, it's Jason Castro who strikes fear into the Japanese hearts. Timeout called Japan. And now Coach Lamas has to earn his money.
Let's make sure we're switching. Okay. Yeah, switch all ball screens only, huh? Ball screen. Okay. Ball screen.
Ball screens only.
Okay. Now, on the switch, they get the ball to the post. Don't.
Well, here was the moment when Japan's hopes surely took a major blow. Shinyama not quite as tight as he was earlier in the game. Castro just that half a yard and floats up the jumper. Just in the nick of time. Coach Reyes thinking of the next possession as well. So 10.6 seconds for Japan to get a shot. Maybe a foul or even a turnover to take us possibly into overtime, or an unlikely win. Shinyama with all the responsibility and 20,000 fans on his back. Shinyama back to Tanaka, off the glass, it's off the rim, and the Philippines have surely got it now. Blatch will go to the line, but now it's only a matter of time. Been a terrific finish, better finish than I'm sure many in the arena wanted. That 11-1 run from Japan, giving them some hope. Blatch down, 17 points, 15 rebounds, make it 18 points. Fine second half for him. Blatch only makes one from two, but it's all on Japan now. Shinyama's got to put it up for three. Doesn't make it, and it's a Gilas win in Manila. They win it by 5. It could have been by a further distance, but it was a game dominated by so many different runs. 37 out of 40-odd points put the Philippines in charge towards the back end of the first half, and Japan were always struggling to get it back from there. They go to 0-4, but the Philippines keep pace with Australia, and that last game of Group B against the Boomers could be one to see. The Philippines battling away. Abueva with all the smiles. Blatch with a double-double. It's been quite a game despite Hijima and Tanaka's heroics late on. Coach Reyes supports the Gilas fans. Philippines go to 3-1, and they'll celebrate long and hard in Manila after this one, beating Japan 89-84. They will enjoy these moments for sure. But as Gabe Norwood was saying there, they want to get it back in a couple of months. More like 3 or 4 when qualifying continues for FIBA Basketball World Cup China 2019. Philippines have to go to Chinese Taipei and then they host Australia. And look at the high fives and low fives all round. Japan, they host Australia next and then go to Chinese Taipei themselves. Rebounding though really cost Japan. Just couldn't make an impression. Just 4 offensive rebounds all game. A real contrast to the home team. And the depth, the greater depth, also a big factor in this one. Plus the inside presence from the likes of Blatch. Ujima though, 23 points, battled manfully. Some great entertainment at both ends of the court. Likes of Brown for Japan, making a real nuisance of themselves. Rosario 14, then Ravina. Don't underestimate his contribution when Japan led by 16 early on. When he came on, it really sparked something in the Philippines' performance. And there they are, just a point back from Australia. Philippines now looking good to qualify, but 2 wins for Japan in their remaining games could give the Philippines something to worry about, although Japan do face the Boomers next. These are some of the key moments. There's Tanaka went in strong on Abueva to finish the layup. Abueva though had an eye for it himself. Lovely little floater of a jumper. And that confident smile. Not always greeted by wild celebrations inside the Mall of Asia Arena. Blatch, the star of the show for Japan. Dishing it up to Norwood in fine style. And Castro William, even though he really had an influence in the second half, making that influence felt. 3 from 6, 8 points to his name. And it is the Philippines who enjoy a night in Manila a little more than their Japanese opponents, even though their fans certainly had some minor successes. Tanaka, a little quiet in the middle part of the game. But Ira Brown pops up at regular intervals. Blatch. Well, that almost cost Japan. That's the Philippines very, very dearly at Japan's pleasure. Alert play, though, from Daiki Tanaka. And this was the key moment. Castro just getting a moment of space, getting away from Shiniyama, floats the layup up, and brings the arena to life. Coach Lamas urging the foul. But there were so many other moments to enjoy. Norwood, his layup. And fine celebrations. It's been that sort of game tonight. So much for the cameramen and women to pick up on close-up. Japanese team with all sorts of reactions from the bench. Shiniyama there. Coach Reyes, never short of a word or two. But his team got the victory. And that is all that matters. Shiniyama in the corner. It took a while for that one to be worked out as a three-point play. I can't entirely work out even now why it took so long. But Blatch, well, in those situations, took on the entire Japanese team to find the bucket off the glass. So those games to come then in Group B, with Australia already through now to the second round of qualification. Friday, 29th of June, Chinese Taipei hosting the Philippines, and then Japan welcoming Australia to the land of the rising sun. And then Monday, July the 2nd, Chinese Taipei against Japan. Winner of that almost certainly going through to the second round. The loser out at the first attempt, whilst the Philippines take on Australia, with the possibility that that game will decide who will win Group B. And these points do matter, because all the points from the first round are taken forward into the second round, where the teams through from Group B will take on the teams from Group D, likely at the moment to be Iran, Kazakhstan and Qatar, though Iraq certainly not out of qualification hopes themselves. Been an enjoyable game. Always enjoyable to watch a game at the Mall of Asia Arena. Thanks for your company. I'm Chris Edgerton. We'll bid you farewell.